programs, and welcome to the YouTube true story of Deadpoolzilla. I am Diana, aka PopCultureDiva42, and I am here to probe the mind and thoughts and soul of a person that we all know and love, Mr. Deadpoolzilla. We begin as we always do at the beginning. Tell me if you remember what is the first video that you ever uploaded on your channel. Now, I don't know if you deleted some of your stuff, but I went back and started probing to see what is the oldest video right now on your channel. And you know, you have like 900 videos, over 900 videos. So tell me, what do you think it is?
My first video, now that you mention it, my first video was a video I did, where it was basically me talking about these cool crossover ideas, and I didn't voice it. I didn't know my computer had a mic in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was all me typing out stuff and writing it down and showing the pictures and like, oh, this would be cool, like, the Red Hulk versus the Justice League, and the Darkness versus Ash from Evil Dead. That's pretty much the only two I can remember, right off the top of my head.
What time was this?
This was back in 2009. I don't know the exact date.
No, I looked on your channel, and the oldest stuff I could see also from 2009 was a fan vid of Invader Zim.
Oh, yeah, that was my first video. Never mind, I'm sorry. You see, that was the only music video I've ever done.
Yeah, and you said in the description, like, this is the first AMV I've ever done, and I think it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, for the use of only 4 episodes. Thank you for reminding me, because I thought that was the first video I ever did, and that was originally my shtick I was gonna do for this channel, was make music videos. But the place where I got the clips from kind of left. And I don't really trust the internet. I don't really trust, downloading sources these days.
Yeah, obviously. I just, like, it was fascinating to go back in 2009, like, when we didn't know each other, and see some of your earlier videos, and you actually did a video where you talked about what would happen after Smallville, and you said that you would like to see a Kyle Rayner television series, and yay! And I'm like, why didn't I know you back then? Like, we would have so much to talk about. But
we still do.
In 2009, you were like, what, 18?
Yeah, about 18.
And also, like, seeing you deal with Mount Vernon Kid and Ziploc Bloody, as he was known back then.
Well, now he's known as nothing.
Huh?
Now he doesn't go by anything these days.
Yeah, unfortunately. But, you know, I have my feeling that he'll come back. And also, you know, I honestly, like, I cannot remember why I subscribed to you. Like, I have no idea what video of yours caught my eye that made me subscribe to you. I think it was more the fact that you uploaded so much stuff. I think it was some kind of fight video for some reason. Like, I remember I saw that you did a fight video, and then I kind of ignored it for a couple of days, and then you did something again. Like, this guy puts out a lot of material. I better subscribe to him.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, and things have changed. I'm really surprised of how they've changed, truthfully. I mean, originally that was going to be my shtick. Going back to that Invader Zim video, that was going to be my shtick. I was just going to do animated music videos. Who knew I was going to do this? And I know I've deleted a lot of videos, including the one I mentioned earlier, but yeah, that is the original video. That is the start, and I didn't start doing those types of videos until, like, actually, the video, and it's deleted too, was a video, the first one I did with me talking, was one mixing, it was like a crossover event I had in my head, and this is how I became friends with Victor, was an idea called Blackest Rain, which was mixing the two events of Blackest Night and Dark Rain together. And it was so dumb, but Victor loved the idea, and he did a video response, and I was like, oh my god! Because I'm 18, and I thought, and the guy who inspired me to do videos just did a video response. I was 10 feet tall that day.
Yeah, and don't knock that Invader Zim fanbit because it has like over 35,000.
Oh, I don't. I still like that. I still like that video. I'm surprised like a lot of Invader Zim fans do like it, but the one thing I always see on that comment is like, "What's the video? What's the song in the video?" To answer everyone's questions, it's a cover of a Bee Gees song called "Tragedy," and I can't remember the. I know I put it in the description. I know I put the video. The song is "Tragedy," which is a cover by the Bee Gees by this techno band called Cell Dweller.
Mm-hmm.
So, if anyone wants to know, there you go.
Mystery solved. So moving on with our... Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention I'm doing an interview. This is supposed to be an interview.
Yeah, I thought we established that earlier.
Yeah, I said something like, "Welcome to the YouTube true story of Deadpoolzilla." I don't know if it was obvious that it's an interview. But anyway, you'll put it, in the title of the video. Yeah, this is me at my most professional. If there's anything I'll keep saying throughout this is that I'm a professional, damn it.
Professional. That's a good joke.
I am a professional.
Go ahead.
I have my journalism diploma and everything. And this is what I use it for. Yay.
Damn right.
So, going even further back at the beginning, tell me, where did this passion for superheroes and science fiction and stuff like that spring from? Was it something that you were into as a kid? Was it something that you discovered in your teens? Did you grow up with these stories? Did you discover them along the way?
That's a good question. You see, I've always had a love for comics and superhero stuff, but as always, like a lot of people, my love for the comic book stuff came from, animation. And I'm a huge fan of animation. I enjoyed, the X-Men animated shows, I was a child of the 90s, basically, and, Marvel and DC were kicking it with, their respective TV shows in animation. And that kind of leewayed into my love for comics. And it's funny, too, I can still remember the first comic I ever got. It was a Spider-Man comic. Now, I don't own this comic anymore. It's gone forever. And I keep in mind, I was about 8 years old. And it was like, ooh, pretty pictures. But what I do remember, and I look back on it because my memory was jogged, when I saw the issue cover online once. Excuse me, I got a bit of a running nose. But basically, it was a issue where Spider-Man fought this group called Jury, which were a bunch of Venom villains. And that's all I remember from it, was Spider-Man versus Jury. That was about it. And that kind of leewayed into my love for comics, me delving further and further until I could, learn more about this. In science fiction, I've always been... You see, my father is a Trekkie. And I grew up with Star Trek, learning off of Star Trek and, Aliens, Terminator, all that good stuff because I love monster stuff, I'm a big fan of monsters and, I love horror stuff, I love slashers, but if you give me a monster movie, I'm going to take the monster movie over a slasher film any day. Especially if that monster's a werewolf and not the one that's with the sparkling vampires. And... truth be told, I didn't get into Doctor Who, and I talked about this in a video earlier in one of my newest videos when I talked about the 49th anniversary. I didn't get into Doctor Who until 2 years ago, I think by now. If not, maybe a year and a half. I'm never good with dates.
And what was it that about Doctor Who? Because Doctor Who, it's a British show. It's very unusual. What is it about it that attracted you and turned you in such a big fan? Because you are a big fan, you think of fan fiction, you think of audio dramas. What was it that captivated you so fast and so intensely?
I like time travel stuff, first off, and I'll always say this, it was the Daleks. No, really, it was the Daleks. They were the most unique-looking aliens I'd ever seen. A trash can-looking eye stalk thing with a plunger and egg beater for arms. It was like, it was so, on paper, it looks so stupid, but when you see it and see the damage it can deal out, it is so cool. And I wanted to learn more about them, and it's funny, I used to call them the Daleks because I never, like, before then, I never heard how they were pronounced, and I got into so much shit for that. So, it's Daleks, I know that now, people, don't worry, it's Daleks. So, that was kind of the thing. And it was mainly the Daleks, and I did start with David Tennant era reruns, and he's technically my doctor, but, you know, that may change, because I'm getting more and more into the classic series, and I'm still a novice when it comes to the classic series, because there's so many episodes I haven't watched. I mean, I think the ones I've been really watching all the way through was Day of the Daleks, and that's not a good... John Pertwee's an awesome doctor, but, yeah, I wouldn't recommend Day of the Daleks. That's just me, though.
So Doctor Who is one of your latest passions, if we can call it that. What are some of the things that you have stuck with since you were a kid? And especially, like, who do you feel you have suffered for the most? Like, the fandom or the thing that has caused you the most pain, where you're like a veteran of, you know, like, I don't know, if you're a fan of Spider-Man, you can say, like, I've been through the Clone Saga, man. What has been seen cannot be unseen.
Oh, man, that's a good question. I think I'm going to say definitively Transformers. I was always a fan of Transformers. I didn't grow up with the 80s Transformers. I grew up with Beast Wars. And that kind of gave my love for, you know, the rest of the series, and from then on, and then I went back to watch the 80s show, and I've watched pretty much every incarnation, mostly up and down with all of them, you know, from Armada. I loved Armada. The other two series that followed in the quote-unquote Unicron trilogy, that's left to be desired, but there were some good episodes in there. Transformers Animated was good. I know I'm skipping some, and I'm recently getting into the Japanese Transformers era, with Headmasters and all them. But, yeah, it's always been Transformers, because the Michael Bay movies have given me nothing but heartache, and, you know, several other decisions, and Prime has been nothing but awesome. It's probably growing to be... I don't want to sound like this, but the more I watch Prime, the more episodes I see from it, the more I feel like this is probably one of the coolest incarnations of Transformers ever since the 80s cartoon. I don't want to sound like a heretic when I do that, but everything is so well written in that show. That has my favorite incarnation of Megatron. That has my favorite incarnation of so many other characters. Like, Optimus Prime is awesome in any incarnation, but this one might be my favorite incarnation of Optimus.
Okay, that's cool. You talk about a lot of things on your channel. You know, you talk about comics, cartoon shows, movies. What are some of the things that you are really passionate about, but we don't really get to hear you talk about on your channel, either because, I don't know, it's a guilty pleasure, or you think that maybe the people aren't interested in that, you know? What, outside of what we see on your channel, what else comprises the universe of Deadpoolzilla?
That is a good question. You see,
I'm a professional, damn it! Of course it's a good question.
I was complimenting you. Goddamn. Like you said, that is a good question. There's not a lot I don't talk about on my channel, but I think one thing I don't talk about on my channel a lot, because I don't think a lot of people are interested, is that I'm a fan of a lot of classic novels. You know, like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Bram Stoker's Dracula, and several other book series, like, I don't really talk a lot about Halo, because I like the games, but I'm not a big fan of them, but the Halo mythos is amazing. So I've picked up the novels, I've read the comics from Marvel, especially the ones written by Brian Michael Bendis.
Yeah.
And those are really good.
Are there some things that, you know, you like, and you like to talk about with other people, and are there some things that you like, but you kind of want to keep for yourself? Is that one of the factors in it?
Kind of, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's sometimes like it's kind of weird too when you bring up, when I talk to friends, when I'm talking to friends, I feel like there's friends for certain things, like you and Duke Loops are the friends I talk to when about Doctor Who and science fiction, and a few other things are when I want to be stupid. That's kind of the same thing. Like, every friend brings their own expertise to the table. It's like a whole League of Assassins. Everyone brings something different to the table. And I have, like, it's funny, too, because I have a friend for everything. Like, every expertise. Like, okay, this is not your strong suit, I'll go talk to Coolio Vids then.
Wow, you're like collecting friends based on what they like.
Hey, that's the ground basis for every friendship, damn it. But to answer your question, I don't really think there is a lot of things that I've talked about on my channel that I keep to myself, truthfully.
But like, when I am curious, this actual impulse to talk about and analyze and to some extent criticize, is this something that came up in your life before YouTube, or is this something where you saw people doing it on YouTube and thought, hey, I could do it, and why would you want to do it?
It was the latter, truthfully. Doing the reviews and analyzing stuff just came out of... Well, actually, no, the reviews came from, oh, I could do that too. It's going to be off the cuff, and I'm just going to bullshit my way through it, but I'm going to get through it. But the analyzing stuff came from basically me wanting to say my piece on certain things. Whether it be like an upcoming Marvel event or DC event or something else. That basically was it was. Like, all right, I'm going to give my 2 cents. I'm going to throw my 2 cents in and see who gives a damn. That's more or less where it came from. And in that aspect, I think I still do that. I still do that. But that was kind of the thing. Like, all right, let's see what people think of my opinion in the vast world.
Now, outside of giving your opinion and talking about, and doing reviews and talking about subjects, by the way, how do you, like, I know for you it's, because I've seen it happen where you, like, see a picture or something and you're like, I'm going to do a review, I'm going to do a video on this, I want to talk about this. How do you pick your topics? I mean, is there, like, a thought process, or is it just, well, I want to talk about this, so I'm going to talk about it?
It's a bit of column A, a bit of column B. Truthfully. There are videos where I'm like, alright, I want to talk, this looks so cool, I'm going to talk about this. And there are other times where I plan it out and, have something thought up where I know what I'm going to say and, the basic general topic of it. Other times it's usually like, ooh, look at that! Neat talk about now.
Something that I actually always wanted to ask you, like, why do you enjoy doing fight videos, and why do you do so many fight videos?
Alright. There was a time where I did enjoy the fight videos because I was watching my friend the Mount Vernon Kids videos, and he's still going strong with them, but I've kind of, I want to do more than just be known as another fight guy. That's why I've kind of wanted to end at Section 15. That's my last hurrah for the fight videos. And I just want to move more on to other things and, not do any more fights because I feel like it's become something, like, I don't want to make it a chore, basically. Mm-hmm. And that's more or less it. Like, I do not want to make this a chore, and, leave it at something fun, basically. And I don't want to make this boring to anyone, because eventually it will go stale, so I might as well end at Section 15, which I'm surprised, because even I didn't know how long these sections were going to be. Like, I didn't know how long I was going to do them, so the fact that I'm going to 15 sections, and I'm halfway through Section 13 as it is a testament all on its own. So I think I've had a good run, on that aspect, and... I'm going to let other people, I'm going to let... Chris is still going to do his videos. It's not because I'm not trying to have a cold war with him on the fight videos. No, he beats me on that aspect. I just think it's time for me to lock up on that part of my work and move on to other things.
And speaking of other things, I've seen more recently like a push towards audio dramas from you, and I know you also do other stuff. You write, and what I'm saying is that you have a certain desire, maybe, to express yourself creatively, not just critically. So yeah, talk a little bit about that. You creative person.
Oh, when you put it like that.
I'm a professional, damn it.
As she said for the 15th time. I do like to have creative work. I've always lived by this. I've lived mostly by this saying: find a job you love, and you'll never work a day in your life. Said by Confucius. That is something that I've kept. That's basically, how some people have a quote that they live by. That's the quote I want to live by. Find a job that I love, and go basically a job where I can get up, smile, and do that. This is kind of my big thing. Is like I want to write for company, for not just comics. I'd really like to write for animated shows, not live action television. The only one I can honestly tell you is a no-brainer, Doctor Who. I'd love to write just one episode of Doctor Who. But yeah, I'd love to write for other shows, animated shows, or, create my own. It's just that I've always been ever since I was young, I've had this creative mind. And it shows, like, hell, I remember I did a school project where I wrote a story of Beowulf and a predator fighting. And needless to say, I got an A on the sole ground of that, and the teacher said, that was awesome, that should be a movie.
Aww.
Yeah, Beowulf versus Predator. I beat everyone in terms of imagination on that day.
And how old were you?
I was, I think, 18 or 17.
Ah.
What?
Saying, praise like that in high school. I was going to say, if you were in 6 or 7 and your teacher told you, they should make a movie out of it, it'd be like, gosh, she just said that because you were a little kid and didn't want to disappoint you. But if you were 17 or 18, and they were genuinely impressed, then that actually, has more meaning. Because, I'm just saying, the older you get as a student, I think the harder it is to garner compliments and get the teacher's approval. Because, when you're a little kid, they just hand it out freely because they don't want to hurt your feelings. But the older you get, the more accustomed you get to criticism. So the harder it is for the teachers to appreciate what you're doing. So yeah, bravo.
Brava. That's been my thing. I've always wanted to be just as creative as I can. The audio dramas are pretty much my first step into writing them, because this is the first time I've ever done something like this. I've written fan fiction before, and the way I look at I want to look at it is it's writing fan fiction, but you're sharing it with everyone. You're having actual production value to it. And I'm still nervous. We're recording this Saturday, when the time this video's made, and
what are you recording?
We're recording the audio drama. And
what audio drama is that?
We'll get to that. You have your questions, but preluding to that, it's basically a testament to myself and to the people working on the project, because I sent them the script and they love it, but it's something that I feel like I want to do more of, depending on how well this goes, and it's just something, and that's always been the thing. I've looked at work and be like, yeah, this is what I want to do with my life. I want to write. I want to make stuff, be part of entertainment. I want to be the guy behind the curtain who's making the magic, so to speak. Whether it be comics or other forms of media, that's always been my dream.
Mm-hmm. I've also noticed on your channel that you are one of the dudes that does a lot of collaborations. And, we've done some things on your channel, and you also, you implicate people when you do Q&As, and I just wanted to ask you, like, why is it so important for you to have other people on your channel, and what does a person need to do to get in your good graces? Send cookies.
No. You see, first and foremost, I have to be able to trust you. That's the first thing. Secondly, I have to know you actually done work. It's been kind of the thing, like, I've come to you guys to work with, basically, and people I know I can work with. I've checked out all your videos and like, oh yeah, I can totally do a video with this person. And other times, like, there have been points on my YouTube videos where I have more or less. There are collaboration videos that were on the fly, like my Transformers Prime season review. I just asked PokeFangirl4, it's like, hey, Coolio Vids just canceled on me. Do you want to join? She said, sure. And we were just talking. And that's kind of like how a lot of my videos go. It's just, oh yeah, you want to do a video? Okay. That's more or less how it goes. And sometimes I do plan them ahead when there's a subject I really think I can have someone who I can really work with on that. Like, I've come to you a few times asking, for your help on certain videos. And likewise with me, because I damn sure know I worked on a video with you regarding something stupid. Do you remember that?
The X-Men thing?
Yep.
Okay, it was a good idea.
Oh, yeah, it was a good idea in theory.
The practical application is the one that suffered. And as you can see, like, I've hold off on doing any more collaborations on my channel because I don't know, I'm not a good moderator. I think I am not a professional. I admit it. I'm not a professional.
After denying it for so long.
Yeah, I like my opinions too much to like have people on my channel and criticize me for them. I'd much rather come on your channel and criticize you.
Yeah, because you don't do that enough when in my life as it is, right?
Hey, it's all good. Like that's why you love me, or tolerate me anyway.
I love and tolerate you. MLP reference. So
yeah, going back to you, Mr. Star, Mr. YouTube Celebrity, you are soon going to reach 1,000 videos. Like right now, you have over 900.
This isn't the first time I've reached 1,000 videos. I deleted a whole shit ton. Remember?
Well, you're gonna reach it again. What does the future hold for your channel? And do you have anything special planned for your 1,000th video? Again.
Actually, I don't have anything planned at the moment. I'm more of a... so there are... you see, if you haven't guessed from this interview, Diva, I am a very do person. So, who knows? I might do something in the mid-future. Not now, but eventually. Who knows? It's just something that I think of, sometimes my mind will go a mile a minute, and I'll think of something out of that insane workshop I call my brain, and see if it works, and if I can pull off the execution. But right now, it's just basically what videos and topics. It's same old for right now.
Okay.
You see, I'm not like Stephen Moffat. I don't lie.
Let's move on to the this or that portion of our interview. Now, I've separated this into stuff that is, genre related, like comic book, science fiction, blah blah, and general this or that questions, which are going to be at the end of this. So, let's just begin. A very simple question you get asked all the time on your Q&As: Marvel or DC?
Both have equally cheated me. I like one thing and then they do something else. DC reboot.
You can say one of the independent.
You know what? You're right. I am. IDW. They haven't hurt me at all. Except my wallet.
Okay, IDW. That's fair. Mr. Freeze played by Schwarzenegger, or by the way, these are super random, so there's no...
I kind of gathered.
Rhyme or reason.
I gathered.
Mr. Freeze played by Schwarzenegger, or Dredd played by Sylvester Stallone.
Still, I'm gonna say I liked Freeze played by Schwarzenegger because the cold puns make an excellent drinking game.
Okay, Miss Marvel, aka Carol Danvers, or Power Girl?
Carol. Gotta go with Carol.
Green Arrow or Hawkeye?
I'm gonna go with Hawkeye.
Okay. Jason Todd or Damian Wayne?
Jason Todd.
Rebecca Romijn or Jennifer Lawrence?
I'm gonna go with Rebecca Romijn.
Okay. Noticed I dropped the Stamos. A Doctor Who question. The Tom Baker scarf or the Matt Smith fez?
Tom Baker scarf.
If you had the TARDIS, would you travel to the past, to the future, or would you travel to the present but on an alien planet?
Past.
What time?
Not long. I'd say early 2000. I'll tell you why. I'd like to just stop by and say a visit to my great-grandparents before they passed away.
Aww. You don't get mushy on me.
No, that's the truth. Like, if I could do that, I'd just use the TARDIS. If I could have only one trip, I'd go see them. You know.
That's like personal stuff, not, adventurous stuff. But
well,
it's good.
If you want to like other stuff, I'd like, if I could travel also to the past, I'd like to, go hang out with Isaac Newton, or I don't know,
And give him an apple.
Nah.
Freak.
Oh no! I think like another thing, like I'd actually like to have a. So many people in the past I've really liked. Like, actually, no. One person I'd really love to meet is Nikola Tesla.
Yes. Who was, I thought was Czech. But was he Czech? Never mind. Moving on. Speaking of time travel. Kit or the DeLorean time machine?
DeLorean. Chicks dig the DeLorean.
My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, or Gravity Falls?
You bitch.
I knew you'd say that.
My weakness. I gotta go. I gotta go with Gravity Falls on the grounds of I really just love the story. The humor literally makes me bust out laughing, and the writing is fantastic. There are references in there that no man will ever get unless you're a geek.
Fair enough. Cisco or Janeway?
No. I had an argument with my dad on this. Cisco.
Alrighty. John Williams or Hans Zimmer?
John Williams.
Good. Christopher Nolan or Joss Whedon?
I'm gonna steal what Senior Nerd said, and in terms of television, Joss Whedon, and in terms of movies, Nolan. But
Okay.
that feels like a cop out, really. So if we're going just by movies, I gotta go with Nolan.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking more like a whole body of work type of thing, but I think if you do that, then that would not be fair towards Nolan.
Yeah, and then it kind of defeats the question.
Thrones or Harry Potter?
Really? You weren't gonna ask Game of Thrones?
Wait a second, it's coming.
Alright.
Oh.
Lord of the Rings.
Game of Thrones or Walking Dead?
Son of a bitch. Ah.
It's like choosing one of your babies.
I'm gonna say Game of Thrones. I'm very much engaged in that series. Even though I have never read the books, and I know you want to punch me every time I say that,
You'll read the books when you want to read the books. I'm a professional. I don't judge.
It's like a pull string at this point, isn't it? I'm a professional. I'm a professional.
Like, when we talk, like, off-topic on Skype, I'll stop being a professional, and that's when I'll bitch at you that you haven't read the books.
Fair enough. So, it's gonna be close, but I gotta say Game of Thrones.
And it's so ironic that you mentioned both of these, like, in the next question earlier, because I actually had no idea. The Terminator series versus the Alien series.
Oh. Alright, I gotta look at this from both standpoints. Alright, both had great movies, both had even amazing, even better sequels. Mm-hmm. And then the following two movies sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is very close.
And you also have with Terminator, you have the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
I never watched it.
And with Alien, you have the Alien vs. Predator movies, where aliens showed up.
Alright. And we also have Prometheus, technically.
Technically, yeah.
I gotta go with Alien, on the grounds of I'm really invested in that mythos entirely. I love Terminator, but Aliens... I was never scared of the aliens, or, you want to go by nerd terms, xenomorphs. I was never scared of them. I always thought they were cool. With the Terminator, it's like, oh, it's a robot. Alright. Yeah. Aliens.
Okay, romantic triangles or on and off relationships in terms of the classic love tropes.
On and off relationships. I can't stand triangles. Not on the grounds of Twilight, for those who are wondering. On the grounds of, I've seen too much fan fiction of it that turns out terrible. And also, I never got interested. It's like, with me, it's like, pick one and we can move on with our lives. That's kind of the thing. Like, my hatred of that boils even to Betty and Veronica and Archie comics. That is how much I hate love triangles. With on-again, off-again relationships, it kind of stems from, if you make it work, basically. If you can make it work like Batman and Catwoman's relationship, or something like, I don't know, there are several, I think, yeah, the best one is Batman and Catwoman. That's probably the best one. That's when I'm invested.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Superman and Wonder Woman, or Superman and Lois Lane?
Superman and Lois Lane.
Okay. Gwen Stacy or Mary Jane?
I gotta go with Mary Jane. Gwen Stacy is good, but Mary Jane wins on the count of she's alive. Sorry, Gwen Stacy fans.
Vision or Red Tornado?
Red Tornado.
Submariner or Black Adam?
Okay, I'm gonna first punch you verbally for saying Submariner. It's Submariner. Say Namor if you have to.
Namor.
Black Adam.
Kyle Rayner or Connor Hawke?
Kyle Rayner. And I didn't just say that just on the grounds of you being here.
No, well, like, Kyle Rayner is still around, whereas Connor Hawke, I think, at this point, he never even existed.
Yeah, along with everyone else. Isn't that right, Dan, with Wally West?
Lady Deathstrike or Lady Shiva?
Ooh. Gotta go with Shiva, although I'm not a big fan of the New 52 Shiva. That costume looks so much like a Mortal Kombat costume.
Mutant or metahuman?
Mutant.
Rocket Raccoon or Detective Chimp?
Rocket Raccoon.
Skeets or Wally?
Like Wall-E the robot?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Skeets.
Wall-E. Wall-E.
Would you rather be chased by a pissed off Hulk or a horny Hulk?
Pissed off Hulk. I don't want to see the end results of horny Hulk.
And the last of the this or that genre questions. Bat nipples or Tobey Maguire's crying?
Bat nipples, because that's something you can laugh at.
And you can't laugh at Tobey Maguire crying?
No, you just want to smack him with a lead pipe.
Okay, these are the general this or that questions. Like, here we get to the real heart of Deadpoolzilla. Shower or bath?
Shower.
Winter or summer?
Winter.
Comb or brush?
Both.
Dark chocolate or white chocolate?
Dark chocolate.
Domino's or Pizza Hut?
Domino's. Although I don't have that anymore.
Dog person or cat person?
Dog person. I'm sick of three of my four cats.
Would you rather be, I mean, obviously you wouldn't want to be any of this, but if you had to choose, would you rather be blind or deaf?
Deaf. If I had to choose, because if I was blind, I wouldn't be able to, see the comics I'm reading.
They don't make them in Braille?
I'm a visual person. Thank you very much.
Would you rather, do you think of yourself as a question or an answer?
I think of myself as...
I don't know, like, I downloaded a list of questions. Like, would you rather be a question or an answer? Remember, silence falls when the question is asked.
I'm gonna call myself a question on the grounds of half my family goes, there are days where I don't understand you.
Wait a second. Makeup on a girl or no makeup on a girl?
I'm indifferent.
Blonde or brunette?
Redhead.
The Simpsons or Family Guy?
Can I answer with neither?
Okay.
Yeah, neither.
PlayStation or Xbox?
PlayStation or Xbox. Because I don't own a PlayStation 3 because I have no money.
And last but not least, the most important, boxers or briefs?
Whatever I can get my hands on after I get out of the shower.
Loincloth.
Yeah, I'd take that.
That's pretty much all I had for this interview.
Well, weren't you going to ask me more about, certain thing I'm doing this weekend?
What are you doing this weekend?
I am doing the audio drama, which is something I was assured we were going to talk about in this interview. I feel offended.
I gave you plenty of occasions, dude. Like, remember when I was praising your creativity and shit? That was the perfect time.
Oh, I thought that... Actually, truthfully, I thought that was the point where you were going to ask. I thought that was a question for another time.
So what are you doing this weekend?
I'm doing the audio drama. But you already know that...
What drama is that?
Doctor Who and Gravity Falls crossover. Now, yes, I know, I've kind of built this up, and and I know a lot of people are expecting a lot of this, and I talked about this earlier. This is something I really want to do, because there was one day where I was like, I literally was sitting in the back of the car, I was sitting in a car, and I thought, I'd write a fan fiction about this. Let's try audio drama, because earlier, I'd listened to an audio drama of Doctor Who's, which is MLP and Doctor Who put together. It's not as a crossover; it's more of a fusion type thingy bubber doodad. So I thought, I could do that. I could do a Doctor Who audio drama. It's not because I had listened to 17 Big Finish audio dramas prior. So that's kind of what it is. Like, this is something really big because I'm taking a very well-known, not just British TV show, but just television show in general of science fiction, and I'm taking a new animated show that has already gotten a huge fan base, and I'm putting them together. And it's basically, I'm putting them together, shaking up the jar, and throwing it against the wall and see what sticks. And that's kind of what it is. Like, I had gone through so many rewrites of this, because I really wanted a story where there was an event that was so big and so great, but you could see the two opposite genres, shows, the characters from each shows, coming together and working together very fluently, rather than have one group of characters like, oh yeah, we're just going to stand in the background and give out interesting quips and references. So that's kind of the thing with this audio drama is, proving ground that I can do this and have, future with other audio drama, with other, not just Gravity Falls and Doctor Who, although I do want to do more sequels with that. There's a possibility, but I'd like to do other audio dramas for other shows, like for Transformers or Adventure Time or something.
Transformers? How is that going to work?
Well, I had this idea of a Transformers audio drama of basically telling the early days of Megatron before, basically him rising to power, because in the Prime universe, he was a gladiator in this city called Kaon on Cybertron. And this is basically, and the Autobot society was very corrupt from the inside. So that basically what this story would be is kind of like an audio drama of a robot Spartacus. Of basically how Megatron would encounter, Starscream, Soundwave, and all the other Decepticons that he works with in the Decepticon group. But in regards to that, this is like the story of how it is. That now, I'm not saying, for anyone listening, or if you've gotten this far, I'm not saying go try out for auditions now. I'm saying that's an idea I have, just an idea. So that's kind of the thing.
And how is it working with other people?
Working with other people in the voice actors, I talked about this earlier. The voice actors love the script. They absolutely love it. When I brought the first part to them, when I sent it to them, I was really apprehensive on how they would react, because because some of the dialogue did feel very stilted to me. But I was talking to the voice actress who's going to play River and the other character Mabel. I gave her the dialogue. She basically told me after reading the script. I talked to her later, and she's like, "Oh, I love it. I've been basically practicing my lines and reading out everything. It's been making me laugh. I've been really intrigued by all of it." And same goes for our doctor for the audio drama. He enjoys it very much as well. So, in terms of that, I'm really hoping this is an audio drama that I can really make work.
Mm-hmm. Well, good luck with that. My advice: be professional, like me.
Just pulling that string again out of your back.
Well, okay, I hope you enjoyed this interview, and I hope your viewers had the chance to get to know more about you, because you are an enigma wrapped in a riddle, running around with, I don't know, puking mystery. I don't know. The international YouTube man of mystery.
If you want to call it that, okay.
Okay, thank you for joining us tonight. You haven't heard the true story of Deadpoolzilla, but there's still plenty of time left for that. Like, he's been doing videos from 2009. He's going to be doing them for a long time, I think. By the way, I think the perfect question to end this with is, do you ever, how do you envision the end of your YouTube career? if they're ever going to, if they're.
I try not to. I truly try not to envision an end of it. Because unlike, Victor, who lost the passion for it, I haven't. And it's something that I'm hoping I can keep doing,
Like Einstein said, energy is never lost, it transforms.
Yeah. So, that's more or less all I can say about it.
Mm-hmm. Keep transforming. Roll out! Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you. Hope this was nice.
Yeah.
If it wasn't nice, I hope at least it was professional.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.